So good morning, what's going on? It's your, hopefully, buddy Mike's from livemyassoff.com, and a blog that I have not spent a whole lot of time adding to. What's funny is, if you know anything about WordPress, basically you can type up a whole bunch of blogs and then just simply not deploy them, basically. And so I did that for a while, and for whatever reason, you know how everyone talks about sort of like, you know, doing what you're passionate about? And I can tell you that as a life coach, when I would work with, when I was doing that regularly, with my company, Amazing, when I was doing that, one of the things that one of the exercises that I would go through with my customers, my clients, my team, would be find out what you're passionate about, do that, and then it's basically like, you know, you're always on vacation, you're never quote-unquote working. Which, you know, a lot of the times is like just sort of the mountaintop, the peak, the thing that you're striving for. And for some people, it's just a fantasy. And for others, it's a reality. And so I absolutely have a full-time job, but I also have, you know, the ability to go on vacation and enjoy my life. I don't make $1 million an hour, but I also don't work 1 million hours a week. So it's kind of cool. Anyway, so greetings from Pattaya, Thailand, in the province of Chonburi, dude. Why am I doing this? So, I'm here for Thanksgiving, because rice is much better than turkey, let's face it. And so I wanted to do this vlog on the beach. I was motivated to do it by my friend Bobby. So hello, Bobby. And we were just chatting yesterday at a Starbucks, as people will do over caffeine. And he's like, you know, I really dug those videos you were doing just walking along the beach. And so once again, in true form, Bobby, I want to let you know that I'm doing it. I'm also doing it without pants. So, no big whoop. Send your money anytime you'd like. No, seriously, the cool part is that I do get motivated to really reflect on gratitude. Especially when I'm at the beach, especially when I'm in a resort town, I suppose, or especially when I'm quote-unquote on vacation. I like to think of myself as living as much of my life on vacation as possible, meaning that I'm enjoying my surroundings and I'm really comfortable in my own skin. And I think that, sadly, my experience with others is that a lot of them will work their ass off so that they can then enjoy themselves later on, right? And I suppose, you know, there's a lot to be said for that. A lot of people you'll encounter people that are retired, meaning they no longer work Monday through Friday, or Monday through Sunday, quite frankly. And their levels of responsibility to generate revenue for themselves and their family is simply based on them logging into their investments and getting a disbursement annually or quarterly or monthly or whatever, so that they can live off of that. And my parents are a great example of that. That said, my dad still does keep sort of busy. He certainly keeps his mind busy by doing things that he likes to do, which involves basically computer programming, is the short answer. He's been a computer consultant for years. Somerville Associates, if you're interested. Anyway, so I'm here on the beach, and it's funny. So when I'm on vacation, and certainly when I'm in a new city, one of the things that I will traditionally do is go to meetings. And if you know what that means, great. And if you don't know what the hell that means, oh my God, Mickey, why are you going to meetings? I thought you weren't working. Well, then just put it this way. I'm not going to working meetings. I'm going to Massive Spiritual Solutions and Hugfest 2016, quite frankly. So anyway, so what I do is I go to meetings, and as part of that, people share their experience, strength, and hope, what's going on with them, and that sort of thing. And one of the things that I traditionally share about is how grateful I am. Now, I always sort of tee it up saying, okay, hey, great, you guys live here all year, you expats or you people that live in this city or whatever. And so potentially you're like, well, of course you're fucking grateful, Mickey, you're friggin' on vacation. And while that could be true, I will tell you that even when I'm not on vacation, I'm pretty grateful. My sponsor shared with me a phrase similar to this many years ago. And here's my version of it, which is basically I wake up every morning and I think to myself, oh my God, I get another 24 what lottery did my soul just win? I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, as far as I'm concerned, based on my judgment of me. And then where I live, I drive over a bridge to get to the I-5 freeway to go to work, about a 15-minute commute or so. And I got to tell you that almost 50% of the time as I'm driving over the bridge, especially if the sun's coming up over the bridge and it's sort of greeting me as I get towards the mainland, I'm almost brought to tears with gratitude for the life that I get to live. Because my plan, back when I was 23, was to basically do drugs, drink alcohol, and lie, cheat, and steal my way to get as much of that and consume as much of that as I could, and keep doing that and then die at 30. And so, spoiler alert, that didn't happen. What did happen was I basically just gave up one day. And a lot of you who have watched my videos or who know me, and quite frankly, the only people that really watch my videos are people who know me, which is cool. I don't have this huge subscriber base, actually. I just sort of do this for cathartic release, I suppose, or maybe reflection or gratitude sharing, who knows. But the thing about that gratitude is that, something intervened in my life. I mean, you can call it the universe, you can call it God, maybe now I call it Buddha. But my experience has been that when I'm on this path of seeking or trying to understand or education, who knows, whatever you want to label it, right? If I'm on this path of sort of like trying to figure out how to be a better person or trying to figure out how to be happier, then that stuff shows up. Because it's what I want. And I think maybe you've heard some people be described this way, or you've maybe even described yourself this way, which is, I'm one of these guys that always gets what I want, or she's one of those women that always gets what she wants. And occasionally it will be used in a negative way, like, oh man, she's one of those guys that always gets what he wants. Which, as an only child with only child syndrome, I like that. But the neat thing about this whole obsession, quite frankly, with gratitude, a lot of people will describe recovery or abstinence from alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, whatever, as, oh, well, you just switched one addiction for another. So I can tell you right now that my two probably top addictions for the longest time have been gratitude and success. And the more I want it, the more I get. So I guess I'm one of those guys that always gets what I want. Another thing that I always want is to help other people, and I don't know how well I do that sometimes, but I do my best. I certainly don't wake up in the morning and say, how am I going to hurt someone? How am I going to piss someone off? How am I going to emotionally kick someone in the uterus? I don't do that, gratefully. So anyway, so gratitude and walking on the beach and sharing my gratitude. So I'm here in Pattaya, and arguably, you could label this city as Sin City, I suppose. I know that a lot of people refer to Las Vegas as Sin City. My experience is that after being in Pattaya probably 3 days for the first time I was here, maybe even 1 day, being here for the first time 4 years ago, I think, Las Vegas is kindergarten compared to this place. There's literally everything and anything here as far as sins go. The other nice thing, though, and the way that I sort of describe this place, is it's from debauchery to debuda, because you can go to perform complete debauchery and feel like it's the fountain of youth and always be living the dream as a man, maybe, or whatever. I won't go into a whole lot of detail on that, but the point is that all that shit that you thought, hey, it would be really cool if I could live my life like I'm in a porn movie without the cameras and the lights. Well, buckle up, because that's Pattaya. But the other nice thing is that they have amazing temples here, and they have this awesome thing called Buddha Mountain, and this huge rock wall up the side of a mountain, and in gold there's laced the picture of the Buddha, and it's amazingly spiritual. There's this other place here called the Sanctuary of Truth, and it's this, like, I think for the last 35, 40 years, they've been building this whole house out of teak. And when I say building, they basically bring all this wood in, and then they have humans that sit there and they chisel away at it and like carve these designs out of it. They don't just like put up a solid like pillar of pine or something, right, like that, and make walls. They actually, you know, integrate them into the wall. It's absolutely, I'll put a link below so you can like at least check it out. But here's the interesting thing about doing a video and then thinking about, oh yeah, I'll send you a picture of it. You can't, if you've ever been to Thailand or if you've ever been to any place that you really think, oh my God, this is the most beautiful place on earth, I want to share it with somebody else, share it with my friends. You take a picture of it. Have you, like, how many times have you said to yourself, oh yeah, but the picture doesn't do it justice? Well, shit, yeah, because there's absolutely no way I can take a video or a picture and and describe to you or show you what you can experience in Thailand, what you can experience in Pattaya or whatever. And I give a lot of credit to guys who I've befriended, who I've been honored to have in my life lately, which is Kevin Burt, Kevin Thailand, and Rob Wagner, 20 Seconds in Thailand, Thailand Rob, as well as Rike, who's actually in the Philippines, and he does a great job of describing all the benefits of the Philippines and living there as an expat. And so these guys, they do a great job of like doing these videos, and I always admire that because I tried doing this for a while. I tried doing the whole video thing and uploading and experience, you know, showing experience. In fact, I did like probably 6 or 7 videos when I had the opportunity to go to Nakhon Ratchasima, I believe is how you pronounce it, up in Korat. And I was just like walking around these fields one morning and just sort of reflecting, right? And people would be like, oh, that looks really cool. One guy, bless his heart, he was just like, oh, dude, I love your sunglasses. It's like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad you got that out of it. And I know that wasn't all that he was, you know, saying. I don't mean to belittle his comments. Believe me, I like comments. But it was just sort of neat because, you know, again, you're not there. You don't see the vastness of it. You don't see these just acres and acres of cornfields or acres and acres of rice or peanuts or whatever. So anyway, so regardless of the surroundings, which again, like I've said, I don't believe I have the capacity or the skill set to be able to share appropriately, certainly via video. Maybe I could describe it via prose, but I don't know if I can do that really well. But what I believe I can share with you is gratitude, and why I have it, and why I bother doing a video of it on the beach for Bobby. Because it got me to reflect yesterday when my buddy made that comment. He's like, yeah, you know, I really like those. And it wasn't like this huge description of it. It was basically a statement that was that small, that short. But it got me thinking, because I remember this girl that I worked with, that worked in our team, her boyfriend was watching one of my videos, and she conveyed to me that he was like, man, I just want to like listen to Mike's, you know? Which, of course, I'm sure she responded and said, no, you don't, trust me. He's an insane boss. I just wish one day you'd come to work wearing pants. Miss you, Colette, big time. So the discussion about gratitude is something that, God, man, I just feel like I could do it with my eyes closed. Wait, yep, I can. And so, you know, one of the places that's always allowed me to get clarity around gratitude is the beach. And I don't know why. I don't really care why. All I know is that it's a great solution. So when I hear people say, oh my God, dude, you got to come into this lake, or you got to come to the mountains and check out this, yeah, you know, bring your ski suit or whatever. I'm like, no, dude, I need to get as close to the equator as possible, as close to this as possible, and not wear pants. Because for some reason, there's this energy that I get from the ocean. And even, I gotta tell you, you know when you either made the comment or you had the experience that the water is as flat as glass, it's as clear as, right? Well, even when it's like super dead calm, there's still that little bit of wave, that little bit of splash, right? And man, I could listen to that sound all day, all night, and it just calms me. Additionally, one of the things that I had to sort of wrap my arms around when I first got sober was the concept of a higher power. and not a God necessarily, and certainly for me, not a religion. That wasn't going to be a good solution for me. But a power greater than myself that, as we say, could restore me to sanity. Thereby meaning I was insane, and yeah, I was, and I still am to some degree. I just don't use Coke every day, at least. No, I'm kidding. And so I come to the beach and I get this energy, right? So I was like, okay, what's a higher power? I don't even know what that means. You know, is it electricity? Is it my bank? Is it my mortgage book? Whatever. And so what I was doing at the time when I was living in Pacific Beach, California, near in San Diego, is I would go down to the water and I walk in the water. And like I said, even at the calmest, right, there's always some little wave. There's some energy that's occurring inside in the water. And as you can see, my arm's getting tired and I'm like starting to do the video like this. Maybe I need a selfie stick. Maybe I should use as a selfie stick. And so the neat thing was I was able to like get into the water, and I can't do anything to stop the waves, right? I can't do anything to stop that energy. So I said, all right, well, this is my higher power. It's the ocean, you know. And at first I thought it was like a little goofy, you know. Oh yeah, the sun gods are here to save me, or the god of oak trees or whatever is here to, you know. But it's stuck, man. And 24 and a half years later of not drinking or taking drugs, here I am with my higher power, I guess. And I live near the water, and I walk near the water regularly there. So anyway, I just wanted to do because I'm actually on my way to a meeting this morning, and so I just wanted to share a little bit about, I guess, it's kind of a long-winded way of saying, this is an example of how I find gratitude. I think the first thing is maybe out of desperation. It's like, God, I gotta get some fucking gratitude, or I'm gonna drive myself crazy, or I'm gonna continue to hate my life, or I'm gonna continue to be negative, or I'm gonna be angry. So maybe it's just out of desperation. It's like, Jesus Christ, give me some fucking gratitude somehow, right? And I think like anything else, right? The guy who gets what he always gets what he wants, maybe. Eventually, it's gonna come. Because whether they acknowledge it or not, I think people that always talk about bad luck, they seem to always get that, right? And I suppose I could quote something really cool that came out of The Secret, like what you believe you achieve, or regardless, there's truth to that, right? Like what you think about occurs. Meaning when people are trying to solve problems, they always say, well, let me think about that. And it seems to yield the result. So the desperation for it. And then the second thing is acknowledgement when it shows up. And I think a lot of times that's maybe the most difficult thing. Because the other statement that I've heard frequently is I'm comparing my insides to your outsides. Meaning, oh my God, if I only had a Rolls Royce like him, then my insides would be complete. I would be happy. If I only had what I see on the outside, if I only had his perfect relationship or his body or whatever, and then you discover stuff like, well, first of all, his marriage sucks ass and his body is that way because out of desperation, if he didn't start working out, then his muscles would atrophy after he was in the hospital for 12 months with cancer, and so he was going to die. So okay, right. So I don't necessarily want that guy's life just so I can get like bigger muscles or whatever. So acknowledgement of that, which then I think sort of dovetails into being comfortable in my own skin. And when I'm comfortable in my own skin, it's almost like a perpetual motion machine. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I can then welcome more gratitude in my life. I can acknowledge more gratitude, and then I can get more gratitude, and I can just get, lather, rinse, repeat. More gratitude, more gratitude, more gratitude, to the point where, like I said, I drive over the bridge every morning, and at least 50% of the time I'm almost brought to tears with how grateful I am to live the life I live. I have no idea whether that helps you. I have no idea whether that will apply to your life. But I can tell you that by watching guys and gals that I really respect a great deal go through that process, and then me having to learn it, and then maybe me describing it right now, right? Teach to learn, that's the way I'm successful. And if that doesn't work for you, I'd really like to know. I think it might. I have no idea. There's no guarantees. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, if you do calculus this way. No, come on, man. If you live your life like Mike's, is it going to be better? No, probably not, because you're not Mike. And I'm talking about myself in the third person. Really? Yeah, cool. All right, shut up. So, anyway, I'm walking to a meeting. I'm grateful to be walking a meeting. I get to walk to a meeting. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. See, there we go. Emotional gratitude attack. Listen. I love gratitude attacks. There was no drug that I ever did that got me so happy as just living and being able to appreciate it. So with that, and with lack of Kleenex and tears of joy, I pray for you that you wake up, or you see this video, or you wake up tomorrow, or whatever, or you come to somewhere in the middle of a meeting at work and you think to yourself, I get another 24 hours to live my life. Fuck, what lottery did my soul just win? I love you guys, and I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong. Ciao.